Welcome to Roseflower Radio, the show that goes behind the scenes of your favorite independent artists and creatives. I'm your co-host, Micah Wilson.
And I'm your co-host, Finlay Matthias. With us is an incredibly talented TikToker, creative, original artist from Grand Rapids, Michigan. You may have seen his mashups on TikTok, reposted by Lizzo, Forbes, Billboard, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Adam Wright.
You pulled out all the stops with that intro. You named things I completely forgot about.
Hey, that's our job, man. That's what we got to do.
We go in depth. We go behind the scenes.
Exactly. Before this. My roommate did the research.
Oh, it's nothing to do with the fact that I knew most of that already because we lived together. No, not at all. No, but welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming down. I know that
my living room.
To your own living room, yes.
It's an honor and a privilege. I don't live here, but
yeah, thank you actually.
Yeah, you're welcome
for coming down.
But Adam, so you just performed 2 songs on Roseflower Live, our new show. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about those 2 songs and where they came from, the project they're on, maybe?
Yeah, so I performed Full Moon and Lovesick Remedy. And those 2 songs are off my debut album, Main Character.
Stream now.
It came out the beginning of this year, and it's a very special project of mine because it's my first step into the music industry, really. And they're both very different sides of me as an artist and my storytelling, and yeah, it was very fun to perform both of those.
Yeah.
That's your debut album, correct?
My debut. Well, okay. Long story short, it's technically not my debut because I released like a mixtape album when I was in high school of like production instrumental demos. But it's like my debut.
But
of,
it's
It's like when you think about in 10 years when you're like, this is the album that I really, the first thing I put all my effort in, it was this one.
Like that other one I deleted off of streaming services. So like we were going to pretend that she never existed. The Archives.
Whoa. Well, it makes sense that it's no longer on streaming services.
Now it's archived.
No, the Archives is archived.
Yeah. So you started on TikTok, is that, or no, you are on TikTok almost mainly now. However, you started on YouTube. Is that correct?
Yes.
Under the name
Super Scream Rock.
Beautiful.
And then my channel got terminated within a year of creating it, so I birthed Super Scream Rock 2.
No
creative.
way.
Yeah, I had to keep the same name because I'm like, my 600 followers need to find where I am now.
Yeah.
They gotta track you down.
And then I honestly don't know how long it was, 2 years later-ish, I rebranded to Ada Music, or many people know me as Ada Music because
Ada.
English, I guess.
Yeah, was there a specific reason you decided to change over to something just because it's more like your name? You wanted to be like more of a face of a brand?
Yeah, it was kind of a time where I wanted to start putting myself more into my image, and also like Super Scream Rock is dumb. Like I was like, I don't want to go I don't want to grow up because this I switched it over when I was like 16, 17. So I was like, a wee bit teen.
How old were you when you started?
When I started, I was 14.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna go to a music business event and be like, hey, you can find me at Super Scream Rock. Like, no, that's dumb.
Yeah, that's a little bit. Give them the business card.
Yeah,
Super Scream Rock.
Yeah, like no,
tear that shit in half, throw that away.
Can I ask where Super Scream Rock came from?
Here's the thing. I truly can't really remember the origins. I know the scream. So, this should have been telling about my future, but when I was a kid, I was very obsessed with the song "Scream" from High School Musical 3.
Okay.
Fire.
And because I remember I was so captivated how the whole room,
the hallway was turning.
The hallway was turning, and Zac Efron was like that sort of thing. And I thought it was such a cool concept. And then Super and Rock, I don't know. Truly, before I started posting mashups, that was still I'm pretty sure that YouTube channel was made in 2009.
Wow.
I had it for a while, but I would post the elementary school kind of videos where it was there was a video of me dancing to Rasputin on Just Dance.
There you go.
It was the when I grow up, I want to be famous, I want to be a star, I want to have boobies. It was
I do not know that song.
Well, the real ones do, but I literally danced to that song like and put it on YouTube, and I got a bunch of those things, and then finally it was my 2014 year end mashup that I released. That was my first like mashup, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do now.
Totally.
And then Adam Music came. So like my first kind of ever step into doing anything music wise on a computer was because of my dad, because he introduced me to GarageBand when I was like 7. And I would make these little albums. Technically, I've released like 4 albums now.
Wow.
Oh, so we've got a lot of debut albums.
The archives of the archives.
The archives of the archives. Those, I don't even know where they are. I don't know if they exist, but
we'll find them.
But I would make these like little albums full of like GarageBand loops and stuff, and I called them Adam Music because I was really obsessed with this. It was on PBS. It was called Anna Music. You know? The real ones know about Anna Music.
The cameraman, our boy Logan behind the cameras, knows about Anna Music.
Oh yeah, Anna Music was key to my upbringing because it was basically, it aired on PBS, and it combined 3D animation with music. So basically they would almost create these full-on music videos for music, but it would all be animation. It would look like it was out of like, I don't know if I would say like a Disney animated movie, but it was, I'll have to show you after this because it's very cool. But that was called Anna Music because it was animated music. And I was like, Adam Music.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to where we are today.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Little would I know that Adam Music, creating that name back when I was like 8, would be affecting me now as a 21-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, you're still repping the hat with the same name. What, 13 years later?
Yeah.
So it's carried on. So when would you say, you created, you went Super Scream Rock, the Adam Music.
Well, don't forget about Super Scream Rock 2.
Oh, my bad.
Come on.
I'm
Forget
sorry.
about the second one.
I'm sorry, bro.
You cannot bash Super Scream Rock 2.
So did you change over because you started getting success, or did you change over and then start maybe taking it more seriously and getting success after your name change?
It was actually the first one.
Okay, so you were getting success and you wanted to change up your brand to become more noticeable.
I think if I never would have blown up on YouTube and I would have stayed at, like 500 subscribers or something, I don't know if I would have changed it because I wouldn't, it's not like I would post a video being like, my name's changed, and it would get like 30 views and no one would care. It was sort of like for me, it was 1, a business move. 2, I wanted to just rebrand myself as this.
As Adam Music.
As Adam Music.
Opposed to faceless.
Yeah.
Super
And like,
Rock.
that was also when I started even putting my own face in my profile pictures. I actually started putting like pictures of me. And before that, when I was Super Scream Rock 2, I like literally would just post like an S or like it would just be something.
Something generic.
Yeah. And then I was like, I want people to know who I am too.
Yeah, something more recognizable.
It's really funny because I feel like if it was like nowadays, because I've only known you as Adam Music, and it's one of those, or Adam Wright too, as well.
True, my birth name.
Yeah, I know that as well. But it's interesting for me because I feel like in my mind, when I just think of like Super Scream Rock just as a name, it sounds like some metal band or something.
A little bit, yeah. Scream and rock together.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a TikTok cover account for metal bands or something.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. It is. I don't know what was going through little Adam's head. I really don't. I don't know where that spawned from. I could not tell you. I was definitely not into rock music, so I do not know.
I'm pretty sure my name was Cyborg Polar Bear. Like that was my OG like Gmail.
That's giving like a Wizard 101.
Oh
name.
yeah. Oh yes. Oh my gosh, you just threw me back. I forgot about
Wizard 101. Toontown was my shit. I love Toontown. Wizard 101. I was a little bit Club Penguin, but
I was a Club Penguin, but I had the fucking puffles, bro.
Dude, I had the black puffle.
Bro, I had
the black.
I remember the.
I don't remember
one.
which one I had.
I had the blue one. I'm pretty sure.
I do remember, this is very off topic, but since we started talking about Wizard 101 and stuff, I remember around that time where I played those games, money was like such a concept to me. It was like paying $5 for a membership was like, where am I going to get this money?
Yeah.
My parents won't pay for me to get this membership. And I remember like, we had like dealings outside of our elementary school where people would like get memberships for other people. They would buy like the $5 gift card that's like, you can get this membership, and we would like trade like Pokemon cards for them.
Yes.
Or like we would do like it's so crazy how I will drop like $20 like it's nothing on like a membership for like a streaming service.
Yeah.
But like back then $5, I was like, that is like $400 in my eyes. Like I was like, how am I
You're
gonna
a
get this money
millionaire.
when it's like I could have just like asked my parents to like rake the yard, and they would be like, yeah, here's $5. Like,
Yeah,
who cares?
totally.
What Club Penguin? Yeah, sure, whatever. Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, go look at the screen, whatever.
Yeah.
I would honestly like go back and still play those if they had like, well, one Toontown's gone. There's a bunch of like new versions, but I'm also like,
Not as good.
yeah. And
OGs. Remember the OG Toontown.
also tried to load Wizard 101 on my computer like a few months ago, and it threw up on me. So I don't think it's possible.
As in, like, it was too old for your computer, or your computer was...
It was because it shouldn't be too old for my computer, but like it almost felt like it was too new for my computer because my computer, like it was like 3 frames per second. Like it was not a motion picture. I can tell you that.
Maybe they're just not investing. It's clearly not just the moneymaker. It's not the moneymaker it used to be, Toontown, anymore.
Well, Disney themselves, because I think Disney bought Club Penguin.
I didn't even know that.
They bought Club Penguin. Disney didn't originally own Club Penguin, and then when they bought it, it was like way. I love that this is the conversation.
We were talking about
I was
Club
just kind of
Penguin.
laughing like, yes, the Adam podcast. So Club Penguin.
But long story short, Club Penguin was bought by Disney, and then basically they were like, well, this is what everyone like. There was way more people on it, and it seemed like way more of a revenue source. And they were like, we can't afford to keep up Toontown because they weren't making enough money, and more people were doing this. And then they were like, axed it. Like, no.
Fascinating.
Anyway, more about me.
Anyway, more about Adam. But so you were born, just to jump right back into Adam. So Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yes,
Now you live in LA.
I do.
So I can, as someone who spent a week in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
You did spend a
I
week
can
in Grand
say that
Rapids,
there is
Michigan.
a massive culture difference between
100%.
the two cities.
Hmm.
So what kind of made you? Did you like grow up in high school being like LA, counting down the days, or was it kind of more of a oh, this is really different? You know, like you didn't realize that there was going to be such a culture change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was your experience kind of moving out here?
It like I don't know if I knew I wanted to go to LA until like a year or two before graduating. Because honestly, until that like spring before graduating, I was deciding between a school here and a school in Nashville.
Yeah.
And my parents really wanted me to go to the school in Nashville, but
Same. I was doing the exact same thing.
yeah,
so.
and and like it was a good school, but it was a huge university school. It was also like a Christian school
Belmont?
too.
Yep, I was looking at. Sorry, I was looking at the exact same one when I was applying for colleges.
It definitely like it seemed like it had a really good program, and like there was nothing wrong with it, but I was like,
It just wasn't you.
wasn't me.
Yeah.
I just really wanted to be in LA. Even though I am very much from Yeehaw Central, where I'm like located and where I went to high school. I spent a majority of my time in Grand Rapids, like the city, because I did a lot of like, community theater, and I was down there. If I was in a show, I'd be down there every night for like 4 hours, like for a solid 2 months straight. So I was so used to the city life, and I really liked it. I don't think it's like end goal. Like I don't want to like retire in a city, but like I love just the whole culture around living in a city. And LA is just so huge, which is a good thing and bad thing. But you can do so much in LA, and like it's my people. Like we've talked about this before, how like you're not the person to like go out and go to clubs and all that stuff. But like for me, that's my like. No, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
Damn,
like,
Adam.
I didn't mean that as like a call out. I meant it as like I am very much. I love like going out and like experiencing like nightlife, and maybe that's just like a 21-year-old thing to say. But especially also like as a gay guy, like I don't want to live in Caledonia, Michigan. Like I don't want to like drive by the cows every time I have to go to the supermarket. Like I want to like live in the area of my people and the culture and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I do not get any fulfillment from living in a small town. Sorry.
Yeah.
but
And
I just
especially LA, I think no matter who you are, you will find your people in
Mhm.
LA.
Yeah.
Just matter of numbers.
Yeah, there's just so many people here. Yeah.
here that you can walk down the street and walk past like 3 people you get along with, 3 people you hate.
Yeah.
Like your best friend if you stop to talk to them for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there's so many people that I think no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, you spend like 6 months here and it just feels like home
Yeah.
because you find your second family in a way.
Yeah.
you know?
Interesting.
I feel like a lot of I see it a lot online and on Twitter and TikTok and stuff that a lot of people come to LA and are disappointed. And I feel like it just depends on the mentality that you come here with, because if
Yeah.
you're coming here to expect it to be this like oasis heaven, like influence, like the
Famous people walking
Yeah.
down
like,
the street.
if you expect
yeah.
it to be like what you see on social media, you are going to be disappointed. That's just like with anywhere you go.
Yeah.
That's just social media.
That's social media
101.
in general.
Yeah.
And I think like obviously there's a lot of parts of LA that aren't great and there's parts that are really great. And like, oh, I hate Hollywood Boulevard.
Bro, that
I
shit
hate
is
Hollywood
trashy.
Boulevard. Like
It's
it's
crazy.
trash. It smells like 56 different drugs.
Dude.
It is just
How do you know what
parking
those drugs
sucks.
smell like?
I said drugs as in I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I'm
Dude,
just
I don't
kidding all
know.
the time.
So one time we went, I think you were there. It was us two and our other roommate. We went to Hollywood and we went on the subway. And so, you go downstairs, there's like the air pressure change.
Yep.
And there, when you're going up the subway station, I guess there's a point where the air pressure meets or like equalizes and the air from the subway meets the air like from Hollywood itself, like the air. And there's literally in the station on Hollywood Boulevard, there is a single step where you take a step up and you just get hit with the smell
Yeah.
of weed, piss,
Trash.
sweat.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, we stood on the step, and our other roommate and I, and we just went up, down, up, down, and it must
crazy.
be something to do
Yeah.
with like that air pressure of it being underground.
It is so weird.
It is horrible.
My family visited a year and a half ago, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to Hollywood Boulevard, see the Walk of Fame, the touristy things to do
Yeah.
in LA." And it was awful. Literally, my sister after was like, "I did not need to see that," and I was like, "I'm honestly sorry I brought you here because we also had to park like 35 minutes
Yep.
away. If you're like, depending on what time you go, you can kind of get like 10-15 minute walk parking, which is not bad, but like." It's just like if you're coming to LA, don't go to Hollywood. Don't like the things that are the most known are usually the worst. The best parts about LA are the parts that are more underground, are more
100%.
chill. Like, don't go anywhere touristy. It's not fun.
The one place I will say did live up, but they have since moved. I don't know if it'll still hold up. One place in Hollywood we did go to that I was blown away by, Amoeba.
Yeah,
That
where
Amoeba
is Amoeba
music-
now?
I'm not sure, they moved somewhere further down Hollywood, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure, but that place, at least their old place, that place used to be worth going to.
yeah. Like, there's definitely even in Hollywood, there's a bunch of gems. Like,
Yeah, you just kind of got to look. Like the strip itself, no, but what Amoeba's, like we
Yeah.
just said, 15, 20 minutes walk off that. Like that's where you got to go to get like the actual
Interesting.
experiences.
yeah,
Well, I was going to ask you in the sense of like moving to LA and, you kind of doing your own thing, moving from Michigan and that whole change.
yeah.
Do you think that someone like you, like a like-minded creative or artist or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
do you think the travel to LA is a necessity or not? Maybe not even a necessity, but something that you think is like, oh, if you want to make it, like this is the place to be.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who say that. I'm just curious your input on that.
I don't think it's a black and white thing. Like, I don't think it's like you have to move to LA or you don't have to. I think it's very much, it just depends on the situation. Like with social media now, tons of these artists that are blowing up are literally making music in their bedroom at home.
Yeah.
Like anywhere in the States. Like, it is not a necessity, but it is an advantage, I guess, in a way that you are
Definitely.
exposed to a lot more business. Like, the biggest thing in the music industry is networking. That is 100% the biggest thing.
Yeah.
ever in the music industry. And the amount of people, even when I just like go out for a night at the club with like friends, the people I meet are people that like I get their contact information, and then all of a sudden I find out like, you know, oh, we share some similar interests, like, or going to gigs. Like I've been to many of my friends' gigs, and I meet people who are also in the industry. Like LA is definitely a resource, but it's not a necessity.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you make of it, you know, because if you sit around at home and be in your bedroom, like we were just saying, people making music in their bedroom, you can do that, great. But if you move to LA and do that, then you kind of wasted your move to LA.
Yeah.
You could have done that anywhere else.
Especially with how high like like real estate is, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You are making a big
burning
mistake.
a lot of money if you're gonna move to LA and then
not
100%.
take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like part of my move to LA was also just a personal like want. I also just wanted to move here, like because, you know, the culture, like the things we talked about, just the that whole vibe of LA was always fascinating to me. And now that I've been experiencing it for the past 2.5 years, how many years has it been?
It's about 2.5 years.
2.5
It'll be
years?
3 years in October.
Wow. Look at you.
Wow, I've spent 2.5 years in LA. What a concept. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't think you have to like, if you're someone making music and you are just kind of like trying your best and like you obviously like, if you're not like raking it in or you're not like, I don't think you have to worry about like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it in the industry because I'm, you know, not living in LA. There's tons of music scenes everywhere. Like New York has a music scene. Nashville, like there are tons of places that also have like a sizable music scene. Wherever you go, you just have to make the best of it.
Yeah.
100%.
I think you can do it from anywhere. Moving here was my personal choice, just because I really wanted to, and I thought I could. Also, doing social media was a big thing because now I've been to 2 or 3 like events that I've been invited to.
Yeah, through
my
social
management,
media,
through social media things. Like I went to do you know Oliver Tree?
Yes.
I went. I was literally invited to go to like his album release thing.
What?
And I was
his
like,
release party.
yeah, it was like an event he had on like Fairfax and Melrose or something in West Hollywood. And I was like, if I would have like gone to school in Nashville, that's not something I could ever do.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like it's things like that I'm like, oh wow, I'm really blessed to live here because I can go to things like this.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you kind of brushed over like social media and the aspect of that.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know anything about Adam, man's popping, you know, like Jack
I would
Harlow.
like to think so.
I think you are. I mean, more than I am. So
Call him Jack Harlow because he's popping.
yeah, that was my.
Wow.
But what I was gonna say is, so like for your knowledge, like what do you think some of the greatest benefits of social media for you have been? I know that there have been a ton of artists who are like, oh, social media is like deprecating, and you know, it's like taking away of, because I want to be a secret. You know what I'm saying? And like it depends on the artist, but what has it been for you?
For me, it's been the reason why I have people listening to my original music.
Yeah.
Like it's I did my start doing mashups and stuff, and you know, it was terrifying to start releasing my original stuff because I'm like, there probably is not going to be much crossover. Granted, my engagement rate on my original music compared to my like mashups is like noticeably different, but it is a bit terrifying to put yourself out there in a new way that people who follow you didn't follow you for.
Yeah.
That's really terrifying. And, you know, I have a lot of mental battles when it comes to numbers because my brain, like, it's hard not to equate your own worth to your social media.
100%.
100%. Because, like, there'll be times where I'll go through, like, month-long droughts of, like, all of my videos getting, like, 0.5% of my follower engagement. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, it, no matter, like, what numbers you have, like, to know that, like, the people who did follow you don't really care anymore, that is, whether or not you want it to be, it does, like, it's a little knife in the heart because it's like, oh, I guess I'm not good enough anymore, which is not the case, but that's just what happens.
Especially when it's something that you're currently trying to turn into a living or are using to make a living. They kind of see such an unstable
Mm-hmm.
movement, especially when you can be down for 3 months.
Oh yeah.
And then up for
a week,
yeah.
and then down for another 3
Yeah.
months.
I
It can be really disheartening a little bit.
and I am very blessed to have social media and making music be my job. Like that is the best thing I could ever ask for.
Yeah.
However, it does make the music stuff a little less fun. Just a little bit.
Totally.
Not
Yeah.
like I dislike doing it, but now I have to like when I release something I have to calculate like, oh, I would love to release this, but it will like get way less views and then it will overall like mess up my engagement and the algorithm will stop promoting my stuff because this video that I really liked I knew wouldn't do well and it didn't. And it's stuff like that sometimes makes it hard to want to continue, but within a few hours I'm like, all right, great, now to work on something else.
Yeah. So like the algorithm sometimes you have to kind of get rid of your creativity in order to kind of bow down to the algorithm a little bit. You got to play the game a little bit in order to be allowed to continue playing the game.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's like a bow down sort of thing because like if everyone were to do everything that the algorithm would boost, everything would be the same and everything would be so stale. And I think there is a power when it comes to creating content that is not the norm, I guess. Because the reason why we go through new trends in social media and like YouTube and all that stuff is because people start doing out of the box things that are different from the norm and that gets picked up. However, though, you have to adapt and you have to put yourself into what's popping at the moment, which is why like I wouldn't say I only make mashups that I know will do well because that's not the case. I try to take maybe a really popular song that I know would do kind of well and then put my own spin on it, do something that I think might be a little different or just I do have it a little nice because, when I'm making remixes, I can, still use like the most popular songs at the moment.
Yeah.
But still have it be, my thing and have it still like, it's not like I'm doing one type of content that won't age with the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm constantly doing things with new songs.
Yeah.
Like
Question.
Yeah.
Do you ever mash up your original music with like popular songs?
100%.
For TikTok? Yeah.
No, that's granted they don't do well, but that was one of my promotional tactics. Wow, words. That was one of my promotional tactics originally when my album came out was to release mashups with my songs. And my ones on TikTok didn't do great, but my ones on YouTube definitely, got a little
Do well,
bump.
yeah.
Definitely helped with that a bit. And with how YouTube works with copyright and monetization.
Oh, yeah.
Every single mashup I post gets copyrighted by the label or wherever, the publisher, whatever. I don't make any money from it. However, if I make the mashup and it includes my original song, I do get money from it.
A little sneaky.
A little sneaky. I didn't think about that until recently. And then I got my like monthly like revenue statement or whatever from my distribution service. And there was one song that got me like $15. And I'm like,
Hey.
what? Why did this song? It's not doing well in streaming. And I was like, oh, it's because I posted a mashup with it, and then it got like 10,000 views, and then all of a sudden, that money like came in.
Hey,
Crazy.
Is that something you might be thinking about doing more then?
Yeah, potentially. Like it's not something I'm gonna like oversaturate with, but and it's not like something I would do for like consistent revenue because again, like the mashups don't perform nearly as well as those ones with my original music don't perform nearly as well as my normal ones.
Yeah.
So, it's a little pocket change every now and then.
Yeah. Speaking of putting out stuff with your original music,
Hello.
you
Yes.
just put out some really, really cool new merch.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
Couple of what was it? Vinyls.
The vinyls and CDs.
CDs. Was that it?
Can I run and get them? Is that a thing?
Yeah. If you want to run and grab them, we can.
Can we take like a quick 1 minute?
1 minute later.
Oh, snap.
Oh, he's got them.
That was quick.
I got them. Yeah, it was very quick. But yeah, I just released a vinyl and a CD. Very fun. I've always dreamed of having physical copies of my music. Like the idea of having like a CD that's my album is incredible. And which is ironic to say because I know it's like a dying medium. And I like people, you know, CDs and mixtapes were never like crazy, like exciting. But I guess like to have, you know, my own album, like a physical thing, like having a vinyl of my, like
of your music.
A vinyl, like that's my face, or that's the back of my head, you know. Like Finlay took these amazing pictures, by the way.
Yes.
But like, it's so crazy that like this is just my music. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, on that, like that is. Look at, you can see your music on the vinyl. That is your music.
Yeah, no, that's
cut
literally
in.
that. My voice is cut into those grooves. What a concept! What a
Like,
concept!
That's wild.
Shout out MS Encoding.
Yes. For those who are listening on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify or something and you're not able to see it, where can they go to get them and see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of my merch you can just find on any of my social medias at @AdamMusic_, or if you're on Twitter at @DataMusic_.
No way.
My account got terminated 3 times. I didn't have much of a choice.
Okay, I need to know why you got terminated 3 times.
Can I swear?
Yes. Don't worry about it.
The easiest way to explain it is copyright is a bitch, because Twitter surprisingly is the worst, which I never would have
Interesting.
thought of. Actually, no, SoundCloud's the worst. That's the worst one. But Twitter and Google Drive, I guess.
What?
We'll get into that in a sec. But Twitter sucks for copyright because you'll post a video. Like I'll repost like a TikTok that I did of a mashup, and it'll be fine. It will be up for 6 months, like it's chilling, and all of a sudden you'll get an email saying copyright takedown from UMG for this mashup that you posted 7 months ago.
They're slow on Twitter.
If you get many more of these, you'll get terminated. And the thing is, though, I will get like that first email and I'll be like, okay, maybe I will kind of stop posting stuff like that, and then I will just like keep getting emails from stuff I posted. Like there's one I posted a year and a half ago,
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
and I got a takedown, and it's like, how, like
Like, what are you supposed to do about that?
Yeah.
Like, go through and delete everything older than 6 months on the off chance that someone decides to go after it?
yeah. So I've gone through like 3 Twitter accounts now because I'll like, you know, post a new video and it just gets taken down like
In like 8 months after you posted it.
Yeah,
it gets-
8 months after I posted it. And it's crazy because when you get a takedown from Twitter, you'll get an email saying like, it will show you the message from the original like label or distributor or whatever.
Yeah.
And the label basically provides a link of every single thing that they want taken down. So I will sometimes go through all those links, find mine, but then I will find all the other ones and it's for the same song. Like they did a manual search to go find every video that uses the song and then take all those videos down.
Why?
Like manually. It's not like an automatic thing. If it was automatic and it happened right when I would post it, sure,
yeah.
whatever. But it's like crazy because I've also been experiencing this on YouTube recently. I've gotten like 4 videos taken down now that have been up for 2 to 3, 4 years, and it'll just be like, oh, yep, now this entire person's catalog is off limits.
Jesus Christ.
Even though it doesn't affect any other video besides the one that already made them. I don't know. There's some videos that I very certainly believe have made some of these artists hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that I put up, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, no, actually, maybe you shouldn't have posted that, and then they'll just take it down.
So, like, they take your money, and then once they're done with you, they take the video and strike you for it.
Which is so weird to me, because I'm also like, you could also just keep it up and keep making money.
Yeah. And
If
these
you were that
are-
heartless anyway.
Yeah, and these are the same companies that then come to you to pay you
Yeah.
to do work for them.
It was a very full circle moment. I'm not going to name certain labels because I'm not trying to make
You're not trying to get blacklisted.
not
but-
trying to get
Yeah.
blacklisted, but I've had multiple labels who have come to me. It's like, we'll pay you to promote this song on TikTok, like make a mashup with it and post it and stuff. And I'm like, how do I know that it won't get blocked by you?
Yeah.
There was one company that I worked with back in the day when I was actually still in high school, and it was a label, and I posted a mashup that they like, you know, paid me to post.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting copyright claimed. And I'm like, like
What did they do?
eventually, like they just started making all the revenue from it, and they decided to like put it back up, obviously, because, you know, they paid me to put it up.
Yeah.
But like, it's so crazy how basically the copyright system for mashups is such a gray area, because is it fair
Yeah.
use? Is it not fair use?
Yeah.
What is it? But for most, it's just like, how are they feeling that day? Do they want to keep it up? Do they not want to?
Yeah.
Because
It's crazy.
What
It's
side
so
of the bed
dumb.
did they sleep on?
it's so dumb to me that it's still happening today because remixes and mashups basically own the internet now. Like TikTok, if you scroll through 5 videos on TikTok, at least 2 to 3 of those, I bet, are a remix that someone already posted.
Yeah.
Like the sound,
Yeah.
or it's like a mashup between songs. Whether you know it or not, it probably is. So the fact that like they're still taking them down, even though like these have been huge money makers. Like some artist songs have literally blown up because someone made a mashup with it.
Yeah.
Like so, and also there's been many mashups that have gone viral enough that even the original artist will put it on streaming services.
Yeah.
Hasn't happened to yet. Hasn't happened to me yet. But you know,
Yeah,
If-
there are songs that I've seen on TikTok that I've heard as mashups, but I've never heard the original song
Yeah.
before. And I just feel like, oh yeah, this is the song, and then I'll be like in the car with somebody, they'll have the aux playing, and the original song would come on. I'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This?
like,
I'll be
what
like,
is this?
what wacky ass version are you playing right now?
Yeah.
And they're like, what are
The
you talking about?
original
This is the
version?
song. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because my only knowledge of this was in high school. I made a Louis Capaldi "Someone You Loved" remix.
Mm-hmm.
the
Where-
king.
Where basically I didn't even like do a mashup. To me, it was just like I had his song and then I like did a verse with
yeah.
it. It blew up on TikTok and it did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Now and this is what I'm saying. All this to say is like when I did this, like I posted it on YouTube and it's the most like streamed. Like I've never been a YouTube dude. I'm just
Yeah.
not knowledgeable on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like later, I got an email from a label being like, "Hey, you got to take this down" and all this stuff. Or at first they were just like, "Hey, we're taking all the revenue from it." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, that's fine. I haven't posted on streaming services or anything." I was like, because to me this was like the highlight of my
Yeah,
career. Like
this is, like,
everything
the
was
newest,
blowing
the
up.
best thing, yeah.
And I was like freaking out, telling my dad, I'm like, "Dad, Louis Capaldi, help me," or whatever. It's like all these things. And then like I remember I reached out to this like label and I was like, "Hey, like you can keep all the revenue. I don't care. Can I post this on streaming services because this is like
This is
helping
really
me."
big, yeah.
Streaming
then-
services is where it gets a little funky.
And this is what happened. Instead of replying to that, they just saw that and then just told me to take down the
Just like
video.
struck the video.
Yeah, they're like, "Get rid of it."
It is so weird. And it's also now weird being an original artist,
Yeah.
like making my own music and now having that side of it because I'm also like,
Do people make mashups with your music?
yeah. And
That's crazy.
I remember when I started making mashups, I'm like, yeah, I want to get all the revenue from this because I posted it and made it. But now I'm also like, if someone made a mashup with my song, I would kind of want some revenue from that, you know?
Interesting. Yeah.
So like, I think they just need to figure out a system, like figure out a situation where both parties can benefit.
Yeah.
Because like my Industry Baby and ET mashup is now my biggest mashup I've ever posted on
Yeah.
YouTube.
How
It
many
just
views?
surpassed 18 million.
Are you serious?
Holy fuck.
It just became my most viewed video.
And how long?
8 months.
18 million.
In
Who
8
are these people?
Well, the thing is,
That's
it's,
crazy.
I can, through analytics, I can see how many people watch it who are like recurrent, like people who are coming back, and it's a lot of them. But I post stuff like that, and I'm like, I probably made them like $400,000 from
Yeah,
that video.
That's ridiculous.
Like-
Did you get anything from that?
Nope, not a single thing. And I'm like,
Oh
hey,
my
just give me
gosh.
like 10%.
Have you even like
Give-
heard anything from them? Have they like
No, I went on a little social media spree like a few months ago. I'm like, hey, trying to like adding all these like labels and people and being like, hey, like put this on streaming services and I can get like a 5% cut, but then I'll at least be making money.
Yeah.
5%'s better than nothing?
Well,
From
'cause-
18 million? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's insane.
Like it's the amount of comments that I get that are like, put this on Apple Music, put this on
oh
Spotify.
no, yeah.
That's like the most common
Yeah.
comment I get, and it gets a little infuriating because I'm like, I can't. Like, I want
Yes.
to, but I also don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because I'm like, yeah, if I was able to put this on streaming services, like if I was able to officially post, well, the ET and Industry Baby mashup is a long story because someone actually reposted it on Spotify and it has like 4 million streams.
How come they're not getting sued?
Well, the thing, it's not like it's so hard. It's because technically the labels have every right to sue you. It just depends on if they do.
Yeah, whether they decide to.
And I just don't want to take that chance. And also, I don't want to be known as the person who illegally puts remixes on.
Yeah, then
Totally.
Yeah, and then those calls from the labels trying to actually get you to do stuff
Well,
dry up.
yeah. Start to
But didn't
dry
they
up.
copy your music when they did that? Like, isn't that your song that they just put up and are they now getting revenue for?
Oh yeah, they're definitely getting revenue from that.
That seems kind of
But the thing, because I was in contact with this, account that posted it on there, and I wish I could be like, you posted my mix, like, give me all the revenue. I want to take this down. Like, I can't do any of that because it's technically still not my music.
Yeah.
I use other people's
interesting.
music.
Wow.
So for me, I had a lot of people who were like, just tell them to take it down. Like, just take it, like, literally just like go to
Strike it
Spotify
yourself,
and take
yeah.
it down. I don't have any say in that because it's not my music. I can't do anything about it.
that's crazy. Even though you put the hours in to make that song possible.
Yeah. It's just, it's
kinda-
so interesting how it all works. And I'm like, if these companies like would just think to maybe be like, hey, what if we just put this on streaming?
What if
and
we
then
work
could-
together?
Yeah, what if we could work together? Because obviously, this is the thing I always say, that if I actually made money from YouTube and if I actually like was able to get every cent from every video and I like invested it and stuff, I would probably be a millionaire.
That's ridiculous.
And it's so funny because I'm the exact opposite.
Bullshit.
And like I am like, going from paycheck to paycheck with my management. So it's like crazy how, I probably made these companies so much money,
And they don't give a shit. Yeah.
but also like still hire me, please. Like I will take any job, please. But
Well, one thing that I feel like that goes above all of this is the fact that you remain yourself. You're
Yeah.
you like what you just said. You're not going to sell out. You're not going to like take someone else's thing down because it's not yours. You have the character, the main character
character.
that you have
Hey.
is one of those things that I feel like is really awesome. And we're actually close to the end of our time, so I
Okay.
want to last little bit just ask about
yeah.
the album and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the process that goes into that, because we've been talking about Club Penguin and Wizard 101 and now just copyright for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Copyright.
And I feel like, your diehard fans are gonna be like, but I want to know Adam.
Hey, this is the most real look into me. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
just-
the conversations I usually have.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this little album, is basically, my first step into the music industry. It was about a year and a half total in process, from my first, single to the release.
Wow.
And I tried to make a song for everyone. My goal was that like you could dislike every single song except one, and I would be happy. Like
Yeah.
if there is at least one song that you can resonate with, one song that you can vibe to,
Yeah.
that's great. Like
Yeah.
I basically wanted to. The thing I not hate. Sorry, that was a bit extreme. But things about some records that I don't necessarily vibe with is when every song sounds the same.
Yeah.
If every song has the exact same vibe, then I'm going to get bored. I'm going to get tired. And one of my biggest inspirations for this, even though, it shows how much of a pop hoe I am, is Ariana Grande's Dangerous Woman, because each song has a completely different sound. Like
Totally.
every song, you cannot tell me two songs on that album sound similar or the same.
Yeah.
And that was the goal with this. And, it was a very fun but excruciating process. Like
Yeah.
all music is. There's the highs and the lows, and it took a village to get it done, especially when you're an independent artist and have to do like everything yourself.
Yeah.
That is something quick. I don't want to drag out the time.
you're
No, you're fine.
But people don't understand how like much work goes into this when you are doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like luckily I had the help of Finlay and a few other collaborators to help me like record and write, but like
Shout out Finlay.
but I had to mix half the album myself. I had to, again, luckily I had Finlay to shoot, the cover art and stuff, but like editing everything, I had to make my own lyric videos, edit all my
Yeah.
own music videos, like all of that stuff. It takes time.
Totally.
Like it would be such a dream to go into a studio at a label, record the song, leave, and then have everything ready for you.
Yeah, like a week later they send you
they
the
have
master.
the master.
Like,
Yeah, right.
They edited all your cover art stuff. They edited the lyric video. Everything is all done for you. I'm like, wow, what a life. But even through all of the stress and, the work that it took, I'm very happy with this little body of work. And I'm excited for the future because I already have a few songs lined up. So
I'm
you
really
go.
excited to hear what you do next. So Adam, that camera, where can anybody find you? I know we've been plugging the album. Any other plugs you want to give? Instagram, anywhere. These two
Now's your
cameras,
moment.
whichever one you want. This is your moment.
hello. So my name's Adam Wright. Obviously, we know that, but you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at AdamMusic_. My Twitter is DataMusic_.
The third Twitter.
The third Twitter, yeah. YouTube, Adam Music, and then all of my streaming and original music is under Adam Wright. Just search up Adam Wright main character, and it will be available for you to listen to.
And WRIGHT.
WRIGHT.
Yes.
Not the right as in the direction.
That's the wrong right.
That's
The wrong
incorrect right. No, and Micah, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at Micah W Music on Instagram and Twitter. That is it.
And I am Finlay Matthias. Thank you so much for joining us. You can find me at Finlay Did It on Instagram. You can find Roseflower Records at Roseflower Records, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, just Roseflower Records. You can watch Adam's episode of Roseflower Live. He killed it. I think he sounds amazing. Go watch it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Adam, once again, thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you for
us.
having me.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Have a good one.